Tata Motors is all set for the next step in its evolution as a car maker, and driving its Horizon Next philosophy forward in 2014 will be these two new cars. That's the Bolt hatchback, and behind me there is the Zest compact sedan. Both of these cars will be launched in the second half of 2014, and now let's take a closer look at what they are and what they mean to Tata Motors and to you, the Indian car buyer. So let's start off with the hatchback. Like we told you on our podcast a couple of weeks ago, this is the Tata Bolt. And while the silhouette, the basic silhouette does look very similar to the Indicas we've seen over the years, there's a lot of new detail in this car. And like Tata Motors said in the press conference, while it does share that platform, it is essentially an all-new car on top, with the top hat as the auto industry likes to refer to it. Let's talk about the front styling first. You have that little power bulge on the bonnet, new projector headlamps, lots of chrome out around the front. Looks very modern, looks very stylish. And at the rear, again, like Hormuz said in the podcast a couple of weeks ago, the big change is that the vertical stacked tail lamps that we've seen for so many years on Tata hatchbacks are gone. It's got a more modern tail lamp design. Talking of engines, this car will have both a 1.3 litre diesel engine and Tata Motors' new 1.2 litre Revotron petrol engine. Naren Karthikeyan, a good friend of Autocar India, has been heavily involved in developing the driving dynamics of this car, and he seems very confident that this car will be really fun to drive. The Bolt also gets a new E-Pass power steering with active return feature, so basically the steering wheel will come back to center automatically, or at least it's supposed to. And it also has a multi-drive mode where you can select whether you want it to focus on performance or on economy, and that's a first in the segment. A key part of Tata Motors' Horizon Next philosophy is Connect Next, where they're talking about how to connect the driver better to the car in this age of apps and cell technology. And what they've done is teamed up with Harman for a very high-tech new voice recognition and voice-activated system. The touchscreen inside the car will also allow the driver to control various features of the car, like the AC, while if you have a smartphone at a later stage, you will also have the ability to stream apps from your phone onto the screen, which will allow you to use a navigation app, for example. All of this is in the works, and we'll talk a lot more about these aspects when we see the car. Tata Motors has focused a lot of time and effort on fit, finish and quality, and that's what really is going to be the crux with the Bolt. When you look at the interiors, the quality of finish of the interiors, that needs to be really special. So this is the second Tata Motors product unveiled today. We've heard a lot of talk about it being referred to as the Falcon 5, and this, as we know now, is the Zest. This again is a compact sedan based on the Indica Vista architecture, but as you can see, it's been almost completely redesigned just like the Bolt, and there are a couple of key changes. While the overall styling does remain the same, the Zest gets daytime running LEDs and some subtle tweaks to the exterior styling. Tata Motors have stretched the Zest out as much as possible, so it now has an overall length of 3,995 millimeters. Try to liberate as much space as they can in the cabin. The interior uses a lot of different textures and colors from the Bolt, so that looks pretty interesting too. Another interesting feature that Tata Motors have added on to the rear of this car is LED tail lamps that look really nice, and that helps because whilst they have spent a lot of time trying to design this from the ground up as a sedan, in essence, when you're trying to truncate a car to fit into India's sub-4 meter excise duty norms, things can look a bit awkward. And because of the height of the Zest, perhaps it does look a little awkward in the rear, but it's very, very well done and well finished, and a clear step up from the other Tata products. This car will also have the 1.2 litre Revotron petrol engine and a 1.3 litre diesel engine, but the big news is that the Zest will debut Tata Motors' new F-tronic automated manual transmission, a 5-speed manual transmission for the diesel engine. So there you have it, the Tata Zest and the Tata Bolt. Both these cars will be driving into a Tata Motors showroom near you in the second half of 2014. For more on these cars and all the happenings from Auto Expo 2014, head to our website www.autocarindia.com, and for more videos from Auto Expo as they happen, as the big launches happen, subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned.